Okay. Just looking because this thing was fixing to get ready to, it was recording when I hadn't even hit the record button. That was really strange. But anyway, I'm back because I told y'all I said I was coming back with another video, and here I am. Look, what I want to talk about now is some of the darker sides of magic. Okay, I want to talk about the more darker side of the witch. Okay, the witch, the universal term for the wise one. Okay, that's what she is. That's what he is. He's the healer and he's the destroyer. He can bring forth life. She can destroy life. Okay, but anyway, I want to talk about that. Excuse me, little sinuses and stuff acting up. I want to talk about this very frightening side of witchcraft and some of the things that happens with it. The reason why the church, okay, and many religious figures or many religions um, prefer for you to stay away from this because there is a ugly side, a very um, negative side. But we got some positive things and some negative things. They go hand in hand. And I'm just gonna be talking about a whole lot of random stuff about it. It's not gonna be any order. It's not gonna be formal, but it's some things that you all should know because they want to paint a very pretty, beautiful picture of witchcraft and everything, where it's just all white magic and so beautiful and so angelic and so glorious and it's so heavenly, But as we all know, it's not that heaven. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk about the not so heavenly parts of it. Okay. And it looks like my computer's gonna die, so it don't look like I'm gonna get a chance to finish it. So I'm gonna have to make it quick. And I hate that. Let me see if I can get somebody to get me a power cord. Hang on just a minute. Kenya, can you hand me my computer power cord? My computer is about to die. It says I only have 14 minutes left. Thank you. I'm recording a video, so you might want. I'm in here hollering. Hand me the laptop, charger, and they hearing that. But it's just family. So we're gonna talk about it. Okay, let's do this. I'm actually still in record mode. Okay, hang on, guys. Woo, save the day. Nothing like a good charge to charge it up when it's draining really really fast. But check this out, because I need to talk to y'all about the dark side. It's not as rosy as you think. A lot of the things that you may see around you is not necessarily what you think it is. You know what I'm saying? To kind of give you some ideas, some witches can transform, and it may not be the word transform. Um, may be able to uh, disguise themselves. You know, disguise themselves in other creatures and stuff like that. I know a lot of you all may have heard of some things like that, and a lot of people think that it's only fairy tale talk or fantasy, but it's real. A lot of you all realize it's real. That I want to talk to you about some of the negative sides of the witchcraft. We talk about the beautiful sides, but you need to know that there are some witches out there that can disguise themselves as other creatures. Um, give you an idea. A lot of times you may be looking around in your house and you thinking, well, that's a that's a it may be, let's say, a spider in your house, and you think it's just a spider, but it could be um a it could be a spy, because some Spider. Sounds like a connection there, but it could be a witch or something in the groups of this particular witch, you know, sent out to spy on you, to see what you're doing and whatever, to see what's going on or whatever. So you think it's just an ordinary spider, but it's not. Or you may have a bird that comes to by your window to peck at it or to whistle. But there's so many things could be going on with birds, but a perch in your tree or something like that, and this could be a witch spying. You know what I'm saying? So I want to talk about this part of the witchcraft. Now, a lot of people are probably saying, well, how do they do that? Because witches can travel too, can go from place to place. A lot of people think it's just this traditional thing of the witch flying on a broom to go to one particular place to the other, but not necessarily do they have to have a broom. I'm gonna give you the real way that the witch travels. Okay, now it may be some that travel on the broom physically, get on it and go, but that's not the way that, I have been taught that it's happening. It's never been the way that I've done it. The way that it is done for a lot of people who've always wondered about that, just grabbed a broom and hopped on it and wonder why they couldn't go. It happens when you go to sleep. Okay, so when you go to sleep, you are able to travel. That's what it is. Your spiritual body comes out of your physical and actually does the transformation into other creatures, to do spying, to travel, or to go from one dimension to the other. So whereas you can physically see me and I may appear to you to be a praying mantis, sitting in your window watching you. I'm at home physically asleep. Okay, so this is the way that it happens. Or in some cases, send a copy of myself to inhabit a centipede and be in your house and able to tell you, well, you got pink drapes up on the wall or whatever. So that's the way it happens. You see what I'm saying? I don't understand the full mechanics of it, but it happens. Most of the times, we just get a bad rap because they think that we are intentionally going out to do some negative things and harm, but it's not necessarily that way. These are gifts. These are things that can they can just happen without you putting any um, intentions on doing it. No concentration on the whatever. It can just happen. The reason I was talking about that because before I even know what it was, I remember my first experience of transforming. When I went to sleep one night, uh, went to sleep, and then boom, I wound up in a dollhouse. I don't know if I told you all the story before. I know I commented on somebody's page and told them what happened to me, but I was in a dollhouse. And this happened about 1998. 98 is when a lot of weird stuff was happening. 98, 99. Um, I felt like at the time it was a nightmare, but it was real, just as real as y'all sitting here watching me. And I was in a dollhouse. And when I was in there, I was just crawling around and stuff like that. I knew it was a dollhouse because it was a dollhouse. You could tell. I was crawling around and I saw the bed and I saw the chair and the lamp, the little small miniature things. And I looked up in the window and lo and behold, what I saw was cat eyes. It was dark, but enough light in it for me to see inside of the dollhouse. There was some greenish looking cat eyes looking at me and the terror that I had within me. And I could see the eyes and it wanted me so bad. I mean, it was like an evil, wicked look. But it was just the cat saying, I see a rat and I'm going to kill it. That's what Mama was. Mama was a rat or a mouse of some sort. And I had wandered into a dollhouse. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, well, why did you do this? I did not try to do this. It's something that happens. Okay? Now, there may be some witches that can really put their concentration in it and go here, go there, stop themselves from going here and there. But y'all, that's not usually how it works. Sometimes we transform into other creatures without putting any effort into it. And a lot of times I don't want to do this, and it can happen to me. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with discipline, it has nothing to do with self control or anything. It's just a gift that happened. But anyway, I wound up in a dollhouse in somebody's house. And that was my first experience that I can remember traveling. That's how it happened. Most witches, when they get ready to travel, they lie on their backs with their mouth wide open. Okay? The mouth is open so that the spirit can come out and travel and go wherever it has to go. The sad thing and scary thing about it is most witches can get trapped when they travel and go into other creatures and stuff like, tigers, the traditional tiger, the lion, the panther, the raven or whatever, that the very frightening part of it is that you can get trapped. I had an experience where I was trapped in my neighbor's basement one time. He had a little pool table, and I remember the 8 ball. And I was down there in his garage. His garage door was open, and I got trapped. And I had decided, that I was going to be there, and had given up on trying to come back to my body. But instantaneously, you know, some entities came about and helped me to get back into my body. I didn't want to go down there, but it happened. It was something that happened. I want to give you all an idea of what it is like to be a witch, okay? People wonder sometimes, how do you become a witch? Well, most of the time, witches, you become a witch, or you are born a witch because you've probably been a witch in many lifetimes and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Most witches can be fallen deities or something like that of other lifetime gods and goddesses and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Um, um, so some people are just born like that, or it may be a gift that's handed down from. It's just handed down DNA thing. Most people come from a line of witches. Another thing, like lots of people want to be a witch but don't possess the supernatural powers to be a witch, but it can be sold. Witchcraft can be sold to you. You can also get witchcraft through eating from another witch. These are the ways that people actually are witches or become witches or want to be a witch. There are some people that will actually go out and, do that. You know what I'm saying? Another thing about, I told you a little bit about the dark parts of witchcraft, but I just really don't have time to just go into it in depth. But I wanted to talk to you all about, you know, I forgot about the part of witchcraft that that makes you a true witch. Witches are very difficult to kill. Physically, they are very difficult to kill. I'm not saying you can't, but if you usually don't get them that well. You know what I'm saying? But now some of us can die. But just I'm not saying it, but a true witch, one that has mastered the craft. It's very difficult to kill those, and at one time they would persecute them and just bring them in and cast them in the sea with stones and stuff because it was so hard for them to die because there's a saying, there's a thing, that in order for a witch to die, the witch must give up its craft. If the witch does not give its craft up, then it can't die. So most of the time when witches do decide that their bodies are tired and they want to die, they will give the craft to someone who wants to pass it down to a family member or something like that. And the witches that can't pass the craft on will have to actually go somewhere and leave an offering at a tree and leave the craft there. It's a special kind of tree. And, this is the story that I've heard, and that it's an African type story that was told that most of the witches will go to this particular tree, and I can't think of the name of it, and leave the craft there. And people who would desire to become witches can go to that tree, leave an offering, and actually take the craft back with them. So that now that the witches who've gone to the tree that didn't have any person to pass the craft to can actually now go ahead and die. You see what I'm saying? Because I just want to talk about that. Now I'm not saying that you can't kill a witch and the witch just can't die. But I'm talking about some of these witches that have grown to be strong in craft. Most of them are elderly witches, you know, maybe in their 70s, 80s, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Very difficult to kill. That's why back in the day they were outcasted. Even in some places now in Africa, they're still outcast. You know what I'm saying? The villages have thrown them out, and they actually have sanctuaries for these elderly witches because the powers that they have are so strong. I mean, some of these witches can do some things to you without not they're not intentionally trying to do these things to you. It's just the dark forces that can be around these witches that can cause severe harm. That's why most people do not allow, especially elderly, really not. It's like the elderly witches get it real bad because their powers are very, very strong. A lot of people do not allow witches to touch their babies or say that their babies are pretty or cute or all look at it, you know, it's a flame, you know what I'm saying? Because they say something can happen to the baby, it can cause the baby to get sick, have a bad journey here while it's on the planet or whatever. And they say some babies have even gotten sick and died. You know what I'm saying? But it's not that elderly witch has bad intent toward that baby. It's just some of the things that are, you know, some forces that are around, you know, kind of give you an idea. Like, you know, we were sitting over to my aunt's house and stuff, and we were just sitting there just enjoying some shrimp and stuff, and she couldn't eat none because she's a tiny lady. Her stomach can't hold too much. So we just sitting there enjoying our food and stuff, sitting up there eating in her house and stuff. And the whole time she was talking about how, oh, I don't eat this type of stuff and I don't eat out. And you could tell she was jealous because we was eating. And when we got home, we got real, real sick. Now, you know, I know it was not her intent to make us sick, but it was just the idea of the fact that she couldn't eat. The jealousy within her caused some supernatural force to actually, you know what I'm saying? So, anyway, I still didn't talk about most of the dark um, forces of the craft when it comes to witchcraft. But you know, that's gonna have to be another video because 17 minutes, and I gotta stop this one. Okay.